Hi, and welcome to How to Pivot Your Business in the New Norm. I'm Shari Nomadi, and I am here with my very long-time business partner, Yvette Brown. And Yvette and I would like to thank you for joining us today. You know, if you're like us, you probably have suffered business losses as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. And I want to assure you that Yvette and I can relate to that. But before we get started, I want you to give yourself a pat on the back for making the decision to join us for this training. You see, most of your competitors are probably out there scouring Netflix for the next series they're going to binge watch. But not you. You have made the commitment to join us here so that you can explore opportunities and you can expand on ways to improve yourself and your business. And so for that, we salute you. And welcome to the first in a series of free webinars that Yvette and I are sharing on ways to accelerate your business in the new norm for success.
So what do we know about pivots? It's more like, what don't we know? So far, over the last 31 years, we have successfully used our core skills to pivot and evolve 4 times. Version 1 of our business, when it launched, included a third partner and an office at the beach. The majority of our work was traditional promotions coming from one really big, awesome client. As our attorney told us after the fact, 3 decision makers rarely works. So in 1995, we bought out our third partner. It was bitter, it was painful, and it was costly. But I'm glad we made the break because it turned out to be the best decision we ever made. And as business owners, we had to accept that when we made a mistake, we had to take the necessary actions to correct it. Our second evolution was one of expansion and growth. Since the beginning, we aspired to become a top marketing agency that was filled with account teams and creatives, pitching and winning accounts with regularity. We moved our office to a more centralized location that was furnished with high-end Herman Miller chairs and desks. We diversified our client base and we added fulfillment services and we expanded our staff. At our peak, we actually employed about 30 people. But that expansion came with a cost. We dearly missed our direct client contact and we spent most of our time managing our staff. Our people never really came together as a cohesive group. And although the fulfillment center was busy, it wasn't particularly profitable. So while it was great to have services in-house, we had better relationships with long-term freelancers who provided specific services. Finally, although we were bigger and billings were up, there wasn't any more money left at the end than there was from before. When the dot-com bubble burst and 9/11 happened, it sealed the deal, and it was time for us to move to our next level. We made the decision to scale back. We said goodbye to our big staff and our big office, and we reinvented ourselves once again, this time as a nimble boutique agency with big brand experience. As a business owner, sometimes you have to make painful choices in the short run to ensure success in the long run.
And so began version 3. We realized that our clients weren't visiting our offices as much as they did in the past, so now our fancy offices really weren't that necessary. And we also noticed that we weren't visiting them as much either. And that's because emails and conference calls replaced almost all of our in-person meetings. So what did we do? We decided to return to our roots and work directly with our clients once again. Our new office had just enough space for some small fulfillment projects, and we built a network of resources for those larger projects. We also found new clients, and these new clients gave us opportunities to apply our great consumer promotional skills to their business-to-business models. You know, Yvette and I have always thrived on innovation, and the freedom that these clients provided us filled our portfolio with successful and cutting-edge programs. These programs ranged from vending machines that delivered prizes when you tweeted about them. We had virtual trade shows. We did some great nurture email campaigns that delivered 400%. Yes, I said that right, 400% over goal. So in short, we did evolve with our marketplace. And we did this by constantly pushing our boundaries. And we were able to offer these cutting edge services to companies that didn't either have resources or even the know-how to run them internally. So amidst version 3, the housing market crashed. And that really hurt our business a lot. And it did so because 2 of our best clients were in that space. We did have some other business, but it took us a while to get our clients and get back on track again. It was actually one of those building material clients that first planted the seed in our heads for what would become version 4 of our business. It was at that point that we had been working with him now for over a decade. And we were at his office for a meeting one day, and he casually asked us whether we had considered working remotely. And that concept was so foreign to Yvette and I, but little did we know it would be the foreshadow for our future.
Technically, we began version 4 of our business 5 years ago. That's when we went remote. Shari moved out east to be closer to her aging parents. This was a necessary move that ended up putting us actually ahead of the curve in today's new normal. We were afraid to tell our local clients that we were going remote and Shari was moving. But none of them batted an eye, and we're still working with most of them today. In fact, one client moved their headquarters a couple years later, and now they're on the East Coast time along with Shari. Going remote forced us to update all of our systems and fully embrace technology. We had previously spent literally tens of thousands of dollars in phone equipment, and we got to replace that all with much better services and bells and whistles in a cloud-based solution that costs us about $100 a month. We currently use online collaboration tools that keep us connected on projects, and we use Zoom daily to talk to one another and keep updated. We took the money that was earmarked for office space and we invested it in these digital tools and technologies that keep us on the cutting edge. And part of that cutting edge for us is investing in learning. That means connecting and training with different communities of digital marketers. We are constantly trying and learning new things, both for our business and for our clients. We've spent the last couple years seriously building out our own set of training tools for different kinds of businesses. The pandemic caused us to pivot a little bit. We realized that the time is now for us to share this information with all small business owners so that you can see how to grow in this new normal. And so we're actually tweaking those courses and materials and accelerating some of the launch of those products to help you guys out.
Our 4 pivots offer you 4 takeaways. So the first one is make the hard choice. You see, we talked about that with our third partner. It was very painful at the time, but again, it was the best decision we had ever made in our business at that moment. And like we said, the sooner that you know what you have to do and you act on it, the better off you will be in the long run for success. Number 2, focus on your passion. You see, the growth was great, but we learned that working directly with our clients was really the favorite part of having a business. So returning back to that passion created this great harmony and happiness and actually more success for both of us. Number 3, never give up. The housing crash was really a major hit for us. We didn't have an obvious plan B, so we just dug in and we found a way. Giving up would have been a great regret. And lastly, look to the future. Throughout our 31 years in business, we have always kept an eye on the future. And that's because we follow trends in the marketplace that keep us very relevant. And we are constantly learning and sharpening our skills so that we can be the best for our clients. And lastly, if there's one thing we've learned, it's that success is not this straight line. You can't predict the future. You can just follow the clues and make the most of the opportunities that are actually right in front of you. It's abundantly clear that now is the time to pivot, even if you are flourishing in this pandemic. And that's because all business owners should be looking at ways to diversify their revenue streams. You need to be evaluating your customer relationships and look at ways to expand your products, your services, and even the places where your customers and your potential customers can find you. It's really time to dig in and get ready for your future.
Now is definitely the ideal time to expand your business by diversifying some of your sources of income and revenue streams. Offering different kinds of products and services sold in different places creates greater company value and sets you up for future success when we get through all of this. Different customers want to buy in different ways. The more ways that you can cater to their needs, the greater your chances for success. We discuss this in much greater detail in our training courses. But today, we're going to give you 3 easy actions to take to start that pivoting process. Plus, we're going to share some very recent stories of success and review some common ways for you to consider diversifying your income. But first, let's tell you about a couple of businesses that have already made the pandemic pivot. In one of the digital marketing groups that we're a part of, a small business owner posted her joy at successfully pivoting her birthday party company. She quickly reacted to the cancellations and dove into the digital world where she had never been before to create and market a virtual birthday party. She knew how to do it in offline world, so she figured out a way to do it online. Within a few weeks, she was successfully driving new revenue and much more than ever before. She saw the potential of now serving clients worldwide instead of just in her own region. She is now literally booking parties all around the world and not looking back.
I love working out in group settings. And for the last 35 years, I have primarily worked out with groups. So that activity may have changed, starting with jazzercise and spin to Pilates and yoga. And now this quarantine has forced me to find a new way for workouts. Recently, I was thrilled to find that my favorite yoga studio from California, where I have not been able to practice for 5 years, was now offering classes online. Yes, I was skeptical at first, but actually what really sold me is that the yoga instructor is the yoga master himself. So guess what? I'm back with my favorite California yoga studio and doing classes with them online. Obviously, their regular business had to close because of the pandemic, but they found a way to not only serve their current customers, but also pick up some new ones. They didn't invest in fancy equipment. They've set up what looks to be an iPhone, and they're using Zoom to stream the classes live. In both of these examples, the takeaway is that diversity is good for business. In today's world, the most common way to diversify is through digital means. What we've been inspired by already are 4 big common categories of solutions to reach your customers as we quarantine. Each of these categories represents a potential for you to make money that you're not currently collecting?
Category 1 is online ordering and payments. With your current product or service, you may not have ever had or needed to take payments online. My daughter's school is like that. It's a small private school that takes tuition payments only in person. But when the school closed, they quickly set up a PayPal account and are now accepting tuition payments online for the first time in their 35-year history. I imagine that the convenience of that for parents is going to be such that they're going to continue to offer that option once the pandemic passes. But meanwhile, they've also boosted their technology by using Zoom, YouTube, and Google Docs to keep the kids remotely engaged and moving forward this spring. So, how would you add online ordering to your business? Well, it depends on what you need, but I'm here to tell you it's not hard. You can set yourself up to accept payments with companies like Stripe and PayPal immediately. And then all you have to do is add buttons with some sort of offer to your website. Or if you have a more complete line, you can look to open a simple Shopify store if that better suits your needs. The details on how to make this happen can be found in the New Normal Acceleration Plan, which is our subscription training program.
As I mentioned a few moments ago, I myself am taking some online yoga and bar classes for the very first time ever. I've always loved that in-person classroom environment, but being able to take classes directly and from my favorite instructors and not having to do that drive, and in some cases, the convenience of on demand just might change my behavior even post-pandemic. So think about it. How can you pivot your products or service to engage virtually today? Luckily, XPROMOS was ahead of the curve because, as we mentioned, we went remote a few years ago, and we've already been using weekly video calls with clients for status meetings. There are a lot of great tools out there for you to explore, like Zoom, GoToMeeting, Microsoft Teams, just to name a few. But of course, we do still love getting together for lunches and trade shows, and we will look forward to getting back to those again. But meanwhile, we set our offices up pretty much like you see here. It's really simple. It's a clean backdrop, a little bit of decent lighting, microphone, and a standard webcam. Altogether, these items cost about $300, and they make a world of difference when we're on business calls. And if you don't believe me, just check out some of the family Zoom calls going on right now. I know you've seen them. Bad lighting, bad sound, distracting backgrounds, odd angles as they hold their devices. Even those would be a whole lot better with just a tiny little effort. So the point is, think about how your skills could pivot to provide a great virtual engagement with the customers that you have previously engaged with in person, because that's what customers are looking for now, engagement. Find a way to give it to them.
Solution number 3 is gift cards. If you're not currently offering gift cards, you're missing out. If you offer a product or a service that will be back on track after the quarantine, get out there today and start selling gift cards. You can start with standard denominations based on what a typical customer spends. You can also get creative by developing packages that you can book or fill once you're reopened. This is a great way to let your best customers feel like they're helping you out and to give them a reason to come back when you reopen. Depending on what you sell, you could develop a high-value offer, such as a premium edition for the price of a standard. This higher perceived value will help motivate your best customers today to buy now and redeem later.
Naturally, the pizza chains got all over this right away. Well, let's give them some credit because they pivoted their systems to overcome the fear of the coronavirus transmission from their staff. And they are now promoting touch-free pickup. Most recently, you may have seen that Pizza Hut began adding a seal to their boxes so that they could ensure that nobody else would touch your food while it was in transit. So, is there something you can do to ensure the safety of your product? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you just need to follow the leaders and apply their best practices to your business. But don't forget to let your customers know about it also. And speaking of delivery, Yvette mentioned that her hair salon is now delivering products right to front doors. And I am sure that's helping them recover some of the lost revenue they're experiencing today. Think about the virtual birthday party that we shared earlier. You can host even a virtual party yourself. You can do that right now. Use social media to invite new and existing customers. You can go live on Facebook or YouTube, and your followers will automatically be alerted. You can lure them in with giveaways. You can demo products, you can answer questions, you can play games, and make them an offer. Make them an offer so that they can buy right then. You see, people are looking for ways to connect today. So why can't you be the one to give them a reason to connect and a reason to buy from you?
So to recap our 4 solutions, number 1, online ordering. If you're not taking online payments, get those systems set up today. Once you do, you'll be amazed at how easy it was, and you won't be able to believe that you waited this long to do it. Number 2, engage virtually. Reimagine your product or service as a virtual engagement. Number 3, sell gift cards now. It is the perfect use of that online ordering system you just set up. And 4, find an alternative delivery. Overcome your buyer's concerns today. Maybe it's touch-free pickup, or maybe it's direct delivery. No matter what, make it easy for your best customers to engage today. So, which one of these will you start on today? Make a commitment and get it done. Any move forward is a movement in the right direction. But pivoting doesn't end there. This is also the time to dream. What is the craziest thought you've ever had about changing your business? Now is the time to assess whether or not that crazy idea has merit in this situation. Think about all the changes you've seen with the businesses that you're interacting with today. Those pivots are the type of ideas that you could be considering for your very own business.
Now, let's get to the 3 action steps that you can take today so that you can pivot your business for success. Step number 1, answer these 4 questions honestly and from the perspective of your best customers. Now, really think about each one of them and give them the time that each one of these questions deserves. Question number 1, how can I use your product or service today while I am stuck at home? You know, we've heard about some hairstylists that are actually delivering hair coloring kits to customers, and then they're doing a one-on-one virtual training. Hairstylist walks the customer through how to color their own roots. Question number 2, is there a temporary solution you can help me with while I wait to get your product or service? Our most innovative example we have of this today is this California farm. Now, normally they get their revenue through baby animal petting zoo visits. They recently announced that you can actually hire one of their llamas to join your Zoom call. Imagine the joy and levity that this brings to both corporate and your personal meetings. I love this example because it's so awesomely clever. And they pivoted and what they had to offer so that it was very useful and relevant in today's climate. So if you can imagine how your product or service could fill a need during this quarantine, by all means, start now. Question number 3. Do I need your product or service now that my household income may have been impacted? If the answer is no, you definitely need to go deeper on this. For instance, will all your customers feel this way or just some of them? That would impact how you think about moving forward. You may want to give some special attention to your best customers now, knowing that they will be back. Is there a lower cost return option for people who may not come back? So I would say you probably need an upsell and a downsell package. So the upsell could be a get back into shape offer, and the downsell would be something that would entice those that are kind of on the fence about whether or not they're going to return. This could be a special offer on maybe the slowest day of the week with some sort of express, stripped down version of whatever your product or service is.
Question number 4. Will I still want or need your product or service later when the country begins to reopen? We believe that some pivoting activities that start today will become more normalized, such as family Zoom calls or online classes being a viable alternative to in-person learning, or even grocery and food delivery. As more people are trying services for the first time, there's bound to be a percentage who stick with it after the fact. That's great news for the pivoters, but it's not so great for those who don't act. We want to make sure that you are in that early mover first category.
Our 4 questions are designed to force you to see your product through the eyes of your customer. That customer could be quarantined today. They may have lost their job. How important is your product in these scenarios? How can you still do business with these customers both today and in the future? I hope this exercise will help you think more deeply about the future of your business and the pivots that you need to make.
That was only step 1. I promise you step 2 and 3 are shorter. Step 2 is actually to spruce up your social media. Make sure that your online presence is consistent. Take the time to fill in all the blanks like the About Us section. Make it consistent across all your platforms. Double check your hours, especially if they've changed right now. Make sure all the links are working. And do yourself a favor. Make a spreadsheet of your online places and the related links. If you haven't done this before, you will be very glad that you did. If you're active online, you often need this kind of spreadsheet so that you can easily cut and paste links. Also, let people know where to find you and how to connect to do business. In the next few weeks, we're going to be sharing some basic branding tips on how to bring clarity to your marketing message. But for now, refamiliarize yourself with your online presence and clean it up. Remember, you don't have to be everywhere on social media, but you should be active on the platforms that mean the most to your customers. Social media platforms is its own topic in the New Normal Acceleration Plan. Also, if you haven't done Google My Business, you should. It's free, and it's just one more place that you can put your message out about your business and what you offer. Once you have your presence consistent, it's time to make the commitment to engage on a regular basis. What we mean by that is it's time to get online and start engaging. Many small business owners are taking to social media right now and sharing their wisdom and skills. From hairstylists on TikTok showing how to do at-home trims to Shari and I doing free training on the topics we know best. Those who consistently engage now are more likely to be remembered when the country recovers. You don't want to miss this opportunity. If you haven't recorded videos before, this is the great time to start. If you've been looking for a time to start a podcast, do it now. You'll probably never have as much downtime as you do right now. Take advantage of it. Have fun with it. Be authentic. And by all means, check out our new normal acceleration plan for clear steps to quickly move forward.
Step number 3, connect with your existing customers. Like Yvette said, do this authentically and do it by whatever means that you currently have available today. Can you send them an email, a text message, at least post on your social media platforms and start connecting? Let your customers know that you're doing okay and ask them how they're doing. Engage with them. Send them well wishes. Give them hope in this time. And then tastefully make them an offer. If you're not sure about how to make them an offer or what type of offers would be appropriate, then certainly check out our training where we go much deeper on this.
So, to recap those 3 steps, as promised, they are: step number 1, assess your business by answering the 4 questions we outlined here from the perspective of your best customer. Step 2, clean up your social media presence. Just make it consistent and user-friendly. And step 3, connect with your best customers now. If not, you're kind of missing a significant opportunity. So thank you for coming today. We hope you now see the value of pivoting. We hope you will take actions on the 3 steps today to start pivoting your own business. And please come back next week for more free training on ways to accelerate your business in the new norm, as we then share 3 simple ways to get more customers. If you're interested in going into greater depth on how to accelerate your business in the new norm, we invite you to join our new normal acceleration plan, where we are going to be unlocking new training topics every single month. Each monthly training is specifically designed to accelerate your business growth. Look, we've helped Fortune 500 companies and everyday name brands sell incremental hundreds of millions of dollars over the last 31 years. And that's all as a small business. We don't do well with theory and lofty concepts. We deal in action. So that's why we've packed our monthly trainings with real, doable action steps that you can take to make a difference.
Each month, you will unlock one action plan focused on a particular topic that is related to accelerating your business growth in this new norm. These plans include how to get more revenue from your existing customers, how to find new customers, how you can entice customers, both new and existing, to take specific actions, how to know what to say about your business, how to increase revenue through symbiotic relationships. You probably never even thought about that. How to expand your product or your service line, how to stay focused as a business owner. Yvette and I know too well that's tough sometimes. And how to save time and money with low-cost online tools, like some of the ones we've mentioned, but we've got many more examples. One of these action plans will unlock each month so that you can stay a member. Individually, these plans are designed to open up new opportunities to build your business. Together, they help build the foundation that builds your confidence for future success. So for more details, please visit bizinthenewnorm.com. Just in case you forget, we will send you an email so that you can take advantage of a very special, very limited time offer to join us. Thanks.